Hey y'all, we are the cool ass nerdy dudes. This is episode 14. 14? No, this is episode 15.
Probably. It's like I said, we'll know 15.
Yeah, I think this is episode 15.
We'll know next week.
Yeah. Anyway, man, I'm John. It's your grown man. John, I'm not going to say it's your boy, John Bill. It's your grown ass man, John Bill, and your grown ass man, Steve.
Yes, we grew up in the past few weeks. School has started, so now we grown.
Oh man, and we don't have
You got some little ones starting?
We don't have Steve with us tonight, man.
Kev.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We don't have Kev.
I'm
We got
here. I'm
Steve.
right
We
here,
got
man.
Steve with us tonight.
This-
We don't have Kev with us tonight, man. Sorry, man.
We don't have Steve. It's probably what you want.
Yeah. Wishful
They've been
thinking.
talking about getting me off the show for a minute.
I know, man.
So we don't have him. Yes.
Yes.
And he's right here.
You know. Damn. Wishful thinking.
It's all good, man.
No, I'm messing with you.
You messing around.
No.
I will not come back to this.
No, man.
I like
Never,
it here.
never that, man. You the
Like it.
catalyst for the show.
Well, thank you, bro.
Bro, you the whole reason I'm here.
Oh, wow.
Doing the show, man.
Thanks a lot,
You
man.
know,
I
bro.
appreciate it.
Nah, but yeah, school just started,
Yes,
man.
sir.
You know, so first week of school, just happening.
So where are yours? What grades are we looking at?
So I got a freshman in high school and a senior in high school. How about
Okay.
that?
And college is
And a sophomore
in college. Okay.
sophomore in college, and I'm
Freshman in
proud
high
of
school.
them.
And
So
you should be.
and you got
A seventh grader.
the middle of middle school.
That's right. Second year.
The middle of middle school.
Second year.
That informative time, the wonder years. Remember they used to.
Yeah. Yes.
Ah,
You know, funny man. It was back in the day, man. They would make shows about life, real life, man, and I missed that.
yeah, the
You know,
wonder
like
years.
You said, the wonder years, or somebody would say, "Okay, this is going on. Let's make a show about it. Let's make a show about it."
Absolutely,
It wasn't reality. It was reality, but it wasn't
Yeah.
a reality show.
It was different.
Yeah, it had good writers and stuff.
Good, good writers. Don't you miss good writers?
Oh my God,
they still have some good writers, man. They're all on Netflix and stuff now, though.
that's a good point. That's a good point.
Netflix and every now and like Amazon Prime or something like that. But
Mhm.
they not on network TV.
Yeah. Where are the producers in? I was thinking about that since we're on that subject. I was listening to some songs and I was like, back in the day, you would know when a song came out who produced it, and you would look forward to the next one. You'd be like, all right, like when Quincy produced something, you knew it. When Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis produced something, when Teddy Riley, when Prince, George Duke, blah, blah, blah. I know you're a producer, but I'm saying when we're looking at the semi-mainstream producers, man, where are they now? What are they doing, man?
It's just different.
Since mainstream radio is not what it used to be.
It's just different now, man. I mean, you still got some guys that are that are some serious producers out here. A lot of them now are music directors, people like Adam Blackstone, who's heading up like all the major tours and stuff now. Brian Michael Cox, who's still kind of semi-retired but still doing some cool things. You have folks that are a lot of the cats are producing country music. A lot of the big producers they're producing. They're in the country side of things. What's his name? The dude that doesn't age. Who's produced Happy. What's his name?
Pharrell.
Pharrell. Pharrell. He's still behind the scenes producing.
Okay.
Will I Am is still behind the scenes producing. But a lot of times,
John Bill still producing.
a lot of them have gone into doing stuff with film and movie scoring and stuff like that. They're working with people like Ryan Coogler and other stuff. They're not just doing stuff for the radio
Gotcha.
and stuff, because here's the problem with streaming and the way the streaming works.
Mhm.
The music industry, as far as like just producing music for the sake of producing music, is no longer profitable.
Yeah, nobody's making albums anymore.
Because people still make them, but they don't make them because they're lost leaders.
What's that mean? Lost leaders?
They do them as calling cards for the other stuff that they do.
Okay.
You don't artists don't make money off of their music. their music gets them in the door to do other things.
Wow. Times have changed.
Yeah, I mean because
That's
because
interesting.
nobody buys records. You got people buy Beyonce's records, they buy Taylor Swift's records, they buy Bruno Mars records. You have like
You have to
the
be
top.
truly mainstream. to
You have
get
the
your
top
records on.
5 artists or the top 10 artists. Everybody supports. They support The Weeknd. They support just literally Sabrina Carpenter. I could probably just name these top 5, 10 pop mega artists
Mhm.
that people buy their records, and
Gotcha.
everybody else is just streamed.
Okay.
And artists are paid pennies on the, pennies per stream. Not even pennies, like fractions of a penny per stream. You know, um, I can tell you that in the '90s, early 2000s, even as an independent artist,
Mhm.
I used to enjoy going to the mailbox every quarter
Hmm.
as an independent artist
Mhm.
and getting my ASCAP, royalties.
Okay.
From record sales, radio spins, and things of that nature.
Mhm.
Nowadays, from streams, when I look at what I'm making on streams, I I have my last album. If I got, let's just say, my last album from that I full album that I put out in 2019. I put out a bunch of singles since then, but my last full album that I put out in 2019
Mhm.
has gotten basically like 300,000 streams, and out of 300,000 streams, it's probably netted me like $35.
Okay. So I'm into more your underground artist,
Yeah,
and I think '96 or so when neo soul became popular.
yeah,
That was the artist that I really started supporting because that was just when it hit, it was like, oh,
yeah,
this is me, Erica,
yeah,
D'Angelo, Maxwell, blah blah blah. Even though we've had a few people prior to that. With that being said, they weren't big money makers. I think they kind of they hit
yeah,
the top ones.
yeah,
Jill,
yeah,
Maxwell, and I'm glad for them.
yeah.
Even though that's not what we bought it for, we bought it because it was great music, and unfortunately, great music nowadays doesn't sell.
But
But
but here's
who?
but, here, but here's what's cool. Those three we go back. Those 300,000 streams
Mhm.
are 300,000 people who have heard my music, and
Gotcha.
guess what they do? They book me for
Okay.
performances,
Okay.
or they get me to come and produce their records
Gotcha.
because they like the music. So it still ends up I still end up making money,
Okay.
but not off of the music.
Understood.
That's the thing.
I guess that's what I was going to ask you. Where's the money? Who makes the money then? I mean, I know Beyonce, but I'm talking about
Who makes
artists,
the
underground
makes the
artists.
money?
Who makes the money? Who?
Who makes the money? Spotify makes the money. Apple Music makes the money.
Wow.
Um,
Not the artist, huh?
yeah,
Unless you're just
they
again,
make the
Beyonce or
so
Taylor.
they make the money because you have, as long as you have people, the artists that are filling their charts with people, content
Mhm.
that's driving more and more customers to their platform, and they're the customers.
Right.
So as long as they have people coming in, they're they're happy, and but they're just paying the artists, like I said, fractions of a penny,
Wow.
and so but Spotify's making a killing, and it just kind of sucks, It's worse
Yeah.
than they're worse than record companies.
Wow.
Prince said it. Prince said the internet killed the music industry. Prince called it. Prince called it way back in 2007. Prince called it in 2007.
Mhm.
That's why they killed him.
I was going to say, and then the music industry killed Prince.
And I said it. And I said it. Yeah, the
Hey.
music industry killed Prince because he spoke the truth. They got him hooked on. They got him hooked on drugs, basically.
Mhm.
And
And we don't know it, and we should know that we don't mean like crack and all that. It's just
the pain
pain,
meds and all this
yeah,
other stuff,
yeah.
man. They. Yeah, but anyway, man.
Yeah.
That's not even here nor there, man. But
Well, it's important.
um,
It's important because things have changed.
anyway, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go down that.
No, sometimes we have to.
But
I love being educated on everything, man. And sometimes I think there's a lot of people out there that would like to hear something like that.
yeah,
So it's no, that's great, man. We talk about it here. I'm telling you that, man. We gonna talk about it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't always have to be we talk about the hottest thing.
yeah,
Sometimes it's good being educated on stuff that people don't think about on a regular,
yeah.
and that's a good thing right there. How you bring a lot to me as far as somebody who wishes they were in the music industry and probably should have been but didn't. So oh
Yeah.
well.
Well,
But,
the biggest thing that we're combating in the music industry now is just like everybody else is going to be dealing with is AI going to take our jobs?
I think it's going to take to a certain extent. I think it's going to take over a lot of everything.
So, I think AI is going to take over everybody's jobs who is not a real creative. All these folks that are called so-called producers that are just making stuff, paint by numbers.
So the ones that's like, again, we knew back in the day if Dre produced it, if Jermaine Dupri produced it, or if Jimmy Jam or Jerry Lewis, we could tell by a certain style. Now, with music being the way it is, and it's not that good mainstream, all of it's starting to sound the same. So AI could easily do that.
AI can do that
AI
because
can do
AI
that.
can copy
'Cause
anybody's.
there's no good producer. Not no. There's good producers like you. There's
Yeah.
true music producers. But these people that's producing like today's mainstream hip hop, that's whack. That's the worst.
Pretty much anything that's like
Simple.
overly auto-tuned, overly processed, that doesn't sound like human anyway.
Doesn't
A-
sound like what?
Human.
Okay.
Like all the humanity that's taken out of it. Like sometimes
There's no instrumentation.
if and I'm gonna say this, man, if you take away if I didn't know the songs, sometimes I can't tell the difference between Taylor Swift and the other.
Beyonce.
No, the other one. What's it? Golly, I can't think. I
Can't
always,
help you there because I don't listen to any of them.
I always
If they're
mix up.
mainstream.
I mixed up the other
I
girl.
got you.
Katy Perry.
Okay.
Katy Perry. Katy Perry and Taylor Swift sound just like they sound exactly the same to me, except I happen to know that their songs are different. But if I didn't know that their songs were different, I wouldn't know that you could interchange their voices because there's so much auto tune in their voices. The individual character of their voices has the human character of their voices has just been taken out. So now, guess what? AI can replicate that because the human character of their voice has been taken out. So AI can just say, "Oh, cool, I can do that." And our ears have gotten so used to hearing what that perfect auto tune sounds like. So AI, we're just gonna hear what the AI is doing.
Wow.
But I was listening to what a lot of the young people are talking about. The young people are going to be looking for what's real. So in about 5 years, you're going to see a real, true resurgence of young people looking for the real. So you're going to see for a minute, the AI is going to take over this industry. And then you're going to see it quickly devolve into people looking for authenticity again.
Hopefully that means more live venues blowing up again. That's what I'm missing now.
Maybe. I don't know, man.
Well, I mean, if that's not the authenticity.
Maybe. I hope that's what it means. But
I hope it doesn't discourage people. So
Maybe.
AI is doing this, so therefore I don't need to learn how to play an instrument.
It
It doesn't matter that I sing. It doesn't matter that I produce.
We hope, man. But people are cheap.
They are, but you still got people like me again, and I'm sure you love live. You
Yes,
love playing live, and
yes,
you love seeing live.
but,
I love going to a live venue.
But venue owners are cheap. That's the
But
issue.
they still have to bring in an artist or the artist. I'm sure they are because
Yeah.
I'm seeing people now. I'm like, you booked someone, you booked him or her, and it's like they were hot at one time. So it's like, are they? Is it really to the point where they just can't get anything? So therefore, they gotta play.
Yeah, but they booked that person and they're doing a track show. They're not doing a live band. Or they got them playing with a DJ.
When they do East Point Wind Down Wednesday.
Oh, they do Wind Down Wednesday. Yeah, I mean, no, that
That's what
kind
I
of
mean.
stuff. Yeah, they do that.
Yeah.
But that's the city, you know. So municipalities can afford to do it, you know, this kind of stuff. But you know, small venues like clubs and stuff where music is cultivated a lot of
Hmm.
times. Music was always cultivated in live venues
Hmm.
in the clubs.
Hmm.
That's where people were cultivating the art form
Right.
in front of audiences
Hmm.
in the clubs, whether it was jazz, whether it was blues, whether it was funk, soul, country.
Yeah.
It was cultivated in small venues in intimate settings before it even went to the mainstream, before it went to the big
Yeah.
stage.
Yeah.
It was cultivated and people cut their teeth in small venues.
Right. That's why I say I would love. I love the small venues
The
to see these the live music.
the
I mean,
small
I saw not Phil Cotton, Phil Davis, your guy,
yeah,
at what was it? I first saw him at BW3,
yeah.
Greenbrier Mall, and now Phil, as you know, it's your guy. He's playing with everybody, or has played with everybody, who is and was somebody.
And a lot of those small venues are non-existent right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's one
That's
of
why
the
I say I
issues.
hope there's a resurgence of that.
I
I
hope
hope
you're right.
people don't, get discouraged because of AI and say, what's the use of us getting out of here? Because I think you still have an audience. There's still an audience because you can't go somewhere and AI. You can hear AI and AI seems perfect and AI can imitate all of us, but you're still not looking at John Bill playing an instrument
No,
and
no,
singing.
I know. I agree with
So
you.
hopefully that is
I,
a resurgence.
I agree with you, and I think it will.
Hmm.
Um, I'm also playing Angels Advocate or Devil's Advocate right now
Hmm.
too. I'm playing both
Yeah,
sides of the argument.
you give the realistic side of it.
But I really do think you're right. This past Friday night, I was over at the High Museum.
Hmm.
For they have an event called High Frequency on every first Friday,
Okay.
where you have all these DJs that are playing. You know, some of the premier DJs there. It's a big dance party at the High Museum. It was it was great, man. It was you have people from all walks of life. Steve, this is we can get into this, man. There's hope. There's hope.
Always hope.
There was a imagine 2,000 black people, mostly black people,
Hmm.
in an event space, packed, dancing, partying, alcohol, packed.
Like a carnival cruise.
No, no, no,
I'm
no,
just,
no,
I'm
no.
just,
And it was
go ahead.
everybody's just grooving and having the best time,
Mhm.
and I felt safe.
Unlike, okay, no, go ahead. I got
Unlike a carnival cruise.
you. I got
But
you.
no,
That's
and it was,
what I missed, man.
but it felt
Yeah,
like
because it
it,
was like that growing up.
man. It felt like old Atlanta,
It's
man.
still here. I got you. I got you. Because
It
it was
was,
like that growing up, man.
dude.
We
It
did
was
not
a
see
no.
fights.
It was a whole vibe, man.
Yeah.
It was and it was black folks of all walks of life, man. I mean, and it was, I'm not say black. It was. I mean, there was a multicultural vibe there. It wasn't just all black. But it's this Atlanta. Let's call it what it is. It was mostly, it was mostly us.
Hmm.
It's what it was. But it was black folks. It wasn't.
So to be able to see mostly us in this day and time and not be fighting,
it was
yelling,
great.
and drama, and
Hey
blah blah blah, I
man,
know it was
if
good.
folks, at one point in time, now full disclosure, it did get a little too crowded for me.
Hmm.
Towards the end of the night, I did have to like leave and go outside, not because, not because I didn't feel safe.
Yeah.
I get
I
claustrophobic
got
when
you.
the crowd gets too big, so I just had to step outside. I still didn't feel like it was gonna be like any, like fights or anything
Right.
breaking out. I just needed to get
I understand.
I just needed to get some air. But even when I didn't leave. I didn't leave the venue.
Mhm.
I just stepped outside. It was
Mhm.
still,
Yeah. I
still
miss
in the
those
mood,
days, man.
and
When
it
they
was man. It was great,
sounds
man.
like funk jazz.
If
When
it
funk
felt
jazz was
Man, it
was
felt
hot.
like funk jazz.
Yeah.
No, it
You know,
felt
when they
like
used
funk.
to have what second Saturdays downtown at some hotel or something. It was just always
As
a beautiful vibe.
as a matter of fact, you remember
The
Cy
Phoenix.
one of the people who I was with, man, they said that we haven't had anything like this since they had funk jazz at Sidetrack.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the things that they said that this felt like that.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that we always talk about the negative things that happen when we get together. I wanted to say kudos to Atlanta for doing something great that stayed out of the headlines, that didn't do nothing jacked up happening.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the foolishness that happened on Edgewood a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great event, and kudos to Atlanta. Awesome. Thousands of people got together, had a great time. Nobody got mugged. It was great. It was awesome. That's what I wanted to say.
I got you.
It was beautiful. Unlike what happened in Cincinnati.
Ooh, we don't ever want to see that again.
Oh man.
We don't ever want to see that again. And that
So,
is,
what happened in Cincinnati, man?
from my understanding, now it looks as though it's been edited and what's the word? Not just edited, but
The spin.
disappeared. Because now they're not showing everything.
There's a spin.
Yeah, and wow, where do we start and where do we end? Because yeah, we started off great today, and I like that. But oh man, it's the Cincinnati thing. It appeared that it was about 5 white people, Russians. I don't know. It appears that there was a jazz festival, and I'm saying it appears because I didn't delve into it
Jazz
as much
festival,
as I wanted
music
to. It's
festival,
been a busy
something.
week,
Yeah.
but it appears that there was a jazz festival. Appears some folks attended that weren't just black. And it appears that they got into it with a group of young black people. And I don't want to sugarcoat it.
Yeah, don't
From my
sugarcoat.
understanding, there was a disagreement. From my understanding, the Russian guy threw the first punch. From my understanding. And after that, I guess the cavalry came.
All hell broke loose.
Yeah. And it was
Did somebody
5
throw,
of them.
did somebody throw a cap in there?
Hey, yeah, but it was a lot like that. A lot like that. But do we say it went overboard? Or do we not? Do we say, there was somebody defending themselves? Because if you look at there's so many views you can look at. You can look at it from the law side. You can look at it from, well, this is how it's been for so long. People out there saying the black folks that did what they did, they should have done it because it was a revenge on what's been happening. And I think that that's what we're looking at. Well, going back to the original question, what allegedly happened, 2 guys got into it. Russian guy threw the first punch, and it became a brawl. 5 Russian/white people versus about 20 plus black people, and they got beat out of them. And the lady that tried to break it up, I think she was what happened.
Oh man, hold on. We got some mood music that just kicked in. Hold on.
Just in time. Setting the mood. This will be edited out, so. Hey man.
Will.
I thought you had a remote. I thought you had a remote.
There we go. No, he got it. Okay.
But back to the lecture at hand.
Hold on, let me get back in place. I'll edit that. Don't worry.
That's all
right.
good. Like I said, from that rap,
All right.
from that rap song.
All right.
Back to the
We had some mood music that just kicked
Yeah,
in, but we're back.
Yeah. Could have been worse. It wasn't anything that scared you. Like, oh my God, somebody's shooting. But yeah, so a brawl ensued, and some people got. And see, if I say it, then people watching it. You always have those people.
No,
and like I said, I'm not.
just say it, man.
I'm not. I don't want to walk on eggshells, but it was unnecessary. And I just and it goes back to it looks like now I'm defending the Russians and I'm not
No,
because
no, I don't think you're
at the
defending
end
the
of the day,
Russians.
if I show up in a law enforcement capacity, it's gonna end up being well, I don't care the white boys threw the first punch. Yes, but after a while you gotta say, okay, I understand. Self defense is self defense. I don't give a darn what color you are, what race you are, what religion, whatever. Self defense is self defense. But once somebody's down on the ground and
You
they
you,
can no longer,
you got to walk away.
you have to walk away, stop, whatever you want to call it. And then the lady that comes up on the end, who is a white lady, who is basically, you see her, she's not throwing punches. Whether she's there to say, leave my people alone, either way, she was like this basically, let's stop. Yeah, I can't say this what she said. I don't know what she said.
Whatever
But
she
you
said.
didn't see her coming up like, all right, now I'm in it. Now what's up? No, she was basically there. It looked like she was basically saying, let's stop. Then the two sisters come up from behind her. They grab her and start hitting on her. She's still standing. And then that brother that was in front of her, he just straight cold cocked her and she fell out just like that. When they say she has brain damage, or what, I believe it. Because it ain't like she fell out, was moving around. She fell out cold.
And it's called.
She fell out cold.
She very well could have a what you call it
Yeah.
subdural hematoma. It's what happens like a brain bleed.
Yeah.
She very well
Yeah.
could have that.
She's probably gonna be recovering from that the rest of her life. I'm not saying that to take up for her. I'm just saying, it's like one of my boys. We were talking about it, and we were catching it from all angles. We talked about it when it happened, and again, if you look at it as, regardless, if you look at it from revenge, if you look at it from race, if you look at however you look at it, like he asked me, he said, he was like, Steve-O, if your father would have seen you do that to a female, no matter what her race was, what would your father have done to you? And I think with all his might, it wouldn't have been good.
No.
I don't give a damn how you look at it,
No,
because
no.
everybody's gonna look at it. The majority of people are looking. I guess for once in my many months, I'm trying to be politically correct.
I'm gonna say it, so you don't have to say it. That was a bitch move.
Yeah, it was.
I'm gonna say you don't have to say it. I'm gonna say it. I don't have. That was a bitch move.
Yeah, but again, looking at the political side now, it's obviously everything now. And I don't care what we do now. Everything is politics and race. Everything.
No, it
It's
it is politics and race. And the thing is, I mean, you can't. I mean, real talk. That was a racially charged incident. But they made it racially charged because they were the Russians or whatever who they were uttering
racial slurs.
Mm-hmm. So it started off as a racial incident.
No doubt.
But like you said, once they were down, once they were on the ground,
obvious they were down.
once they were down, that should have been the end of it.
Yeah.
That should have been the end of it. And then at that point, that probably could have been the end of it, and there probably wouldn't have been any charges filed.
Right. Exactly. I agree. I totally agree. And that's where we get in trouble. That's where we tend to continuously get in trouble, because no matter how much we yell it, and we yell it, believe me, I'm in law enforcement, I hear it all the time. I know the law. I know my rights. No, you don't. Because if you knew the law, and just in that situation, if you knew the law and know your rights, you would have known that you have the right to defend yourself. Yes, you do. Anybody has the right to defend themselves.
Yep.
But knowing the law, you have to know when to hold them and when to fold them.
Once the threat is neutralized, once the threat is neutralized, you don't have the right to pursue the threat any further.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When you can walk away, when you can run away, when you can leave any situation, you have to, or else you're going to be in just as much trouble. It's just like if I go to a domestic, we look at who's the predominant aggressor.
Mm-hmm.
We look at that, and you say, well, she came up and she was mad because she went through my phone and caught me cheating and saw this and that, and she punched me in my eye. All right. I was in a corner. I wasn't going to do anything, but she kept coming at me, so I punched her back. That's fine. That's self-defense. Now, when I punched her back, She fell back. She fell on the ground. I got on top of her, and I started whooping her ass. Then
At that point, you're
you just got to look at it. I know, adrenaline starts pumping in some cases in this day and time. Pride, you start thinking about, what our people went through. And that's, I think that's what a lot of it is now. It's, and on and off of that subject, and I think John can agree, at this point, the way it's going, and it's going, it's not going to end good on either side. Mm-mm. And that's not just a Cincinnati situation, because there's previous situations to that, and there's many more that's going to come from that. We are in would you say we're in a semi-civil war? Because again, everything now is politics and race. Everything. I don't give a damn what you do now.
You want to call it? We're probably in a Cold War, a Civil War right now.
Okay, so I'm saying semi.
Yeah, I would say that.
Because that's where it's headed. It's the media is doing a damn good job of dividing us, and we are allowing it.
The media is manipulating this whole thing right now, and I don't like it.
No, because it's not looking good. I don't have a problem with any race. I don't. I judge you based on the individual. I know things happened in the past, and I'm not going to judge my Caucasian friends of now. I'm not going to judge them based on what happened 200 years ago, 50 years ago. I'm not going. That's just me. But again, like you said, with the media manipulating everybody, it makes you have to sleep with one eye open now, because you have to wonder who it's affecting. It's not affecting me because I'm an independent thinker. I'm not going to sit up here and jump on the bandwagon. That's why coming from, again, I have to say I'm not MAGA. I'm not a Trump guy. I didn't vote for Trump, but I am conservative. I'm more conservative than I am liberal. I'm probably center right. With that being said, of course, I don't care if we lose. I don't lose friends if you lose. If I lose you from saying that, or you know how I am, you know who I am. We were never friends from the beginning, so let me say that. But looking at it from that point of view, I'm not going to look at everything as black and white. I just can't, because it's not. If you allow the media to, like you said, manipulate you, I like that word.
Manipulate, and from a different perspective, on the opposite side, I'm more liberal than I am conservative, although I am pretty conservative.
I think we all are to a certain extent. Yeah. We don't like to admit it these days, because who's canceling black people? Black people.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty.
You don't want to say it because now I'm going to lose some more listeners or friends or blah blah blah.
But one of the things that that gets under my skin is I can't stand when people on the right call people who are liberal libtards, or
I'm not.
Or when they're quick to say, well, the left, well, the libtards, well, the libs, well, the lib. That, like, come on, man, that's not a healthy dialogue
it's
either.
Not.
That's you're painting a broad picture, a broad brush of not a healthy dialogue either, because that everybody doesn't fall under that category. Everybody on the left is not about supporting transgender this, transgender that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Although it seems like it, but yeah.
We're not, man. Everybody who's on everybody who doesn't want to do, is not about that life. I mean, hell, everybody who's a part of the Rainbow Coalition ain't even on that side, on that agenda.
Oh, right. In fact, I know a lot of them. Like I think I spoke on other episodes that they're sick of it.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
We have a lot of people that belong to the community that I don't even think they want to admit that they belong to the community. It's just like a black person now admitting that they're conservative. It's like you don't even want to do it because you're going to get counseled by who? Your own people. And a lot of people in the LGBTQ, and I'll just stop there because I don't know the rest of the alphabets, but a lot of them don't want to be associated because
they just want to
embarrassing.
Because they just want to be and let them be and just let them, exist. Yeah. They're not trying to hide it.
Right.
But they just want to be.
They're not throwing it down your
throat. They just want to be, man. They just want to live and let live. Yeah. And I'm okay with that. And that's fine.
You got the Mulvaneys out there. A lot of his, I'm never going to call you a female if you're born male and vice versa. It's just the bottom line. The Mulvaney, he's looking for attention, man. And he's bringing the wrong attention to that community?
So I'm gonna going back to Friday night when we were at the spot.
Mm.
So of course, there were, it was like I said, it was an Atlanta dance party.
Mhm.
So there was a certain sect of that community
Okay.
was there, and so I mean, it's Atlanta, so you expect there was part.
Right.
So, and in that community, most people who were there, they were just there dancing and having a good time. There was this one drag queen that was there though, and you could tell
He. He.
Hisham.
You don't want to be called a libtard.
Whatever.
So.
No, man, I'm calling
so
him
say,
what
hey,
it is.
he. It is what it
Man, he was
is. Doing the most.
doing the most, trying to be everywhere for attention. Doing just
And that's
trying
the
to
ones.
be just everywhere for attention was just you could, and I'm sorry, that is a mental problem
I agree.
because you couldn't just be somewhere and just have a good time.
Mhm.
You wanted to be the center of attention the entire time. You walked in. This person, I mean, he had the tightest fitting dress on and all this other stuff. He's already doggone like 6'8".
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know how tall, but 6'8",
Oh,
had the
stand
heels
out.
on. Looking like RuPaul.
Mhm.
I mean, but just wanted to be everywhere and was just every time you turned around was right there, just like, golly, you're just doing too much.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sitting up here like, and you could sit here and say, well, why are you looking at, like, dude, because you in the space, like,
Wow.
and I'm like, just go and calm down, sit your
Yeah.
ass down.
Be yourself. Be like everybody else.
Like,
have a good
Go
time.
have a good time. Like,
Don't sit
we
down
all
and
having
try
we all having a good time
to-
here.
We're trying to.
No, I had a good time. I've had a good
Well,
time.
I'm just saying,
I-
but
I'm
people
so-
like that will kind of destroy the mood to a certain extent.
Yeah, I didn't let them
If
have
you
it.
allow it. If you allow
Yeah,
it.
I don't know.
you
I had a
allow it.
good time, but still, they were just doing the most, and I'm like, that's mental illness.
I agree.
That's mental illness
Okay.
because they don't know how to just go and have a good time,
Mhm.
and it doesn't matter. And I'm not saying it's mental illness just because they are trans.
No.
Because even if a straight person was doing that much to be,
You would wonder about them.
it's like, yo, you're doing the most. Chill out.
Mhm. And when they keep on, you're like,
You-
yeah, something's going on. with you.
Something else is going on.
Right.
Chill out.
Mhm.
If one of my boys was being that much, I'd be like, hey, man, what's going on?
No doubt.
Hey, man, pipe down.
Right.
Chill out.
You know what I'm
Bro.
saying? People looking at you, they looking at me, wondering,
What's go-
yo, yeah, it's
Anyway, man, that's
it's interesting, but again, kind of on and off that subject, man. It's not that subject now, because I guess going back to it, it's gonna get bad before it gets better, and I wonder what the better is gonna be, because it's getting worse. It's gonna get to a point where it's gonna explode. I don't think either side is gonna like what happens, because there are people actually out there preparing. I truly believe there are people preparing for a race war. And I don't necessarily mean they're out there saying, we're going to shoot some whites, we're going to shoot some blacks. But they are together within their own communities saying, when it's time, we're going to do what we're going to do. And it's just not going to be pretty, man. These streets are not going to be able to handle it. And it's
gonna
our
be ugly.
fault.
it's gonna be ugly.
Yes, and it's not necessarily your fault or my fault, but it's our fault because we're allowing it. We're back in the day, even if regardless of what side of the political game you were on, a lot of times you could come together in the middle. Now everybody's becoming extreme. The left is extreme, the right is extreme, and it's like there's not a lot of us meeting in the middle. And I can meet someone in the middle, but I'm not.
Nobody's trying to dial it down. Nobody's trying to have a real conversation.
Everybody wants to be right.
Yeah.
Well,
Nobody.
what I said was, but everybody wants to be correct.
I mean, like right now, even right now, like I said, you're more conservative, I'm more liberal, and you and I are sitting here having a very, very sane conversation.
Because we're not extreme. We have some morals. We have some values. And we're not extreme,
Yeah.
man. And it's just, I'm not gonna go out here and say I hate white people. I hate, because I don't. I have a lot of white friends, and I don't mind admitting it. I don't mind saying I love being here in America. I don't mind. I'll fly an American flag. I will. I'm not. I
Yeah.
don't just think about I'm going out there to buy an American flag. But the things that,
Yeah,
that
I mean-
I can't sit up here and
Yeah.
see all this hate that people have. I think a lot of this hate is it's manufactured. I think it's manufactured hate. Yes, we have to keep saying yes. There's racism. We know there's racism, but come on, man. Do we face it every day? Well, I don't get called nigger every day. I don't remember the last time I got called nigger. I don't face it every day. I don't get pulled over by the police every day. And when I get pulled over, even if it's a white cop, and I've probably been pulled over 10 times in my life, and it hasn't been bad. I've not had an issue. So we're manufacturing, and I say we're manufacturing it because I think people now are getting to the point where they're not leaders anymore. They're not independent thinkers. People want to be a part of the struggle. And I hate that that's what we do, especially as black people. It's all about our struggle and not our successes.
Yeah, man, and if I see another video where somebody's, let me see your supervisor. Let me see your supervisor. Instead of just, if somebody's, can I see your ID? The cops just
Yeah.
pull out, just
Yes.
pull out your ID, hand in your driver's license. The cop pulls you over, you are obligated. Hey, listen, if the cop pulls you over and asks you for your and I'm not a police officer, but if a cop stops you and asks you for your driver's license, you are obligated to give them your driver's license. That is the law in all 50 states.
Yeah.
Period.
Period.
That is the law in all 50 states. Now, they generally, in most states, have to tell you what they stopped you for. They don't necessarily have to tell you what they stopped you for immediately, but in most states, they have to tell you within the first couple minutes of the.
And I do. I'm one of those that does, and it's just we
uh,
practice that where I am. We practice not only when we're pulling you over, but before we place you in handcuffs. We're telling you why we're arresting you.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to kidnap you. If I just grab you and put handcuffs on you, it's one of two reasons. One of them we can't talk about on camera because it's handcuffs and no. But if I just grab you and I'm in uniform, well, that too. But anyway, if I just grab you and I'm in uniform and put handcuffs on you and put you in the back of my car, that's kidnapping. So I have to tell you, unfortunately, it's kind of hard telling somebody that's about to fight you, about to run. They know, I'm about to get placed under arrest. So therefore, it's hard to just tell that person, you just shot somebody. Put your hands behind your back. Rarely is that person gonna be like, all right, you're right, you got me. But anyway, we're supposed to tell you. And I do that. As I'm walking up to a vehicle, I'm like, how you doing, sir, ma'am? Especially if your window's down, which I appreciate those that do roll their windows down. Hey, the reason I pulled you over, and that's what I do. I'm not trying to play like I'm the perfect cop, because I'm not. I'm a damn good cop. And I know I'm not one of those. I'm not out here. I didn't become a police officer because I was bullied and I have to do this to prove a point. I wanted to be the change, and I am a big part of that change. Just to throw that in there. But again, every cop is not out there to get you. And in this day and time, even those that you think are super racist, most of them now are wearing body cams, and they know they're on camera, and they know that here we go. That's the first thing that happens.
That's what I'm saying.
It's about
man.
like us going to a restaurant. When they go to a table and see us, what's the first thing people say? Oh Lord, I got this. Why don't we start presenting ourselves to a point where people can stop saying, "Oh Lord"?
Hey man,
Here's some, it's the black people
all
again.
junk, man. It's the Carnival Cruisers.
Yeah, I mean, we can stop that because I guarantee you, if John and I go to a restaurant now, whoever serves us, white, black, Puerto Rican, Asian, they're gonna get a damn good tip if they come up to us and chill, and they're gonna have a good time. Why? Because when they come to our table, it's gonna be like, hey, how you doing?
They gonna laugh, man.
Right.
They gonna have a good time.
Right.
They gonna love us.
Right. But we have to quit going places and act like we're the privilege that everybody else acts like. We act like everybody else has privilege. Now it's us. It's us. We're the ones that you can't pull us over. You can't talk to us. You can't do this. You can't do that. We're the ones that sitting high and mighty. And it's like, yo, dude, just be a person. Just be a decent human being.
Yeah,
because, again, I guarantee you 9 times out of 10, It's a decent human being that's going to approach you, be it a police officer, be it a server at a restaurant, be it whatever. If you want to go somewhere looking for trouble, you're going to find it.
Absolutely.
You go to a restaurant and the first thing you're looking for, I'm going to dress this way just to see, then you're going to find that trouble. I'm going to act this way when the police pull me over just to see.
I'm a
You're
challenge.
gonna-
Because
Yeah.
people go to restaurants to challenge their dress code.
Right. My dad and I went to Stony River Sunday, and I was dressed like this, and he was like, "Well, wherever you want to go, let's roll." And first thing I said was, "Dang, I do want to go to Stony River, but I'm not really dressed appropriately." He said, "Well, why don't we go up and see?" Because I'm telling you, I am the one that if I would walked up to that door and they said, "Sir, based on how you dress," I would have been like, "No problem. You're right." I wouldn't have played the race card because it wouldn't have been a race thing. I've been there too many times.
Right.
They let us in. I actually felt a little funny being in there. It's not that they let us in, but it wasn't a blink of an eye. It wasn't like, oh Lord, But I guess that's the values I was taught.
Right.
To not go somewhere. I wasn't taught to be a victim, dude.
But if they had said, "Hey man, you're not quite dressed for our," that wouldn't have been a racial thing.
It wouldn't have been racial, and I damn sure wouldn't have had a problem. I'd have been like, my bad. I actually thought about it before I came in here, but I was already dressed like this. My dad and I were already out, and it wasn't like we were out to go find a lunch place. Because had he called and said, "Hey, let's go to lunch," I'd have been like, "All right, what are you thinking about?" If we're thinking about Stony River, I would have dressed appropriately. I would have dressed better.
I've actually been at a place where they required a jacket,
Mm.
and they gave me a jacket.
How about that? How about that? And
Like,
if they wouldn't have, you would have been like, what?
But they have jackets for those reasons.
To try to make sure to keep it's like
That
that's what we
everybody,
do. Yeah.
that's what they do.
Yeah. And that's what we got to start doing, people. And a lot of times we're not preaching to the choir, but I don't think this time we're preaching to the choir because I think I have some friends that will challenge, and it's unfortunate.
Unfortunately, just for the sake of challenging, man.
And it's no need.
And we got to get past that, man. We got to have dialogue. We got to be able to sometimes just choose peace.
There you go. Your blood pressure will stay down.
Just-
You'll leave at the end of the day feeling like, dang, I just had a
You
good
know.
meal, some good conversation. What happened to that?
Instead of listening to like some gangster rap before you go and get
Right.
or 2 Chainz or whatever before you go into this confrontation, put on Yanni. Something that's I'm sorry. Or Beethoven or
Yeah. And don't go looking for it. Stop looking for it.
find something. Go get a massage instead of do something that's gonna chill you out, man. Instead of for those of you all that partake in this other stuff, man, go do that.
Yeah. Smoke you 1 or 2 or 3.
Just whatever it takes to just
Know where you
chill
get it
out.
from,
I know this is a no judgment, so I don't do that. But if that's what you got to do, then just chill, man. Find your inner peace, man. Everybody just like this whole country could just take. We could benefit on everybody just taking a long chill pill right now, man.
Everybody.
Like everybody.
Everybody. But it's unfortunate. What happened right there, what you just did, that made me feel like, I felt like I just had a massage, man. Because you know what? That wasn't hard.
You know what I'm
and
saying?
It's not hard.
If we could all just go.
Well, we can't, because you know what? Everybody's got to be. I got to be correct. I got to be correct, man. They are this way. He is that way. She is that way, and it's really sad, dude.
Everybody,
And I tell you all,
you'd rather be angry than you and right instead of being at peace.
right? And saying, you know what? I don't have to battle that one. I don't have to face that battle today. I don't have to take on that one today.
I don't have to
It's
take
not
it.
worth it.
Sometimes I just choose peace, man.
We'd rather like I said, we're going along with the whole division, and it's not gonna be pretty. It's not gonna be pretty. So hopefully you and I won't suffer from it too much when it happens because of how we are. But and hopefully we're gonna have to take sides, man.
I hope not, man.
'Cause, it's That's where it's headed, dude.
Yeah, Planet
When it
Man.
doesn't have to be that way, because I see where I hang out. I don't usually hang out where there's just black or just white people or just whatever. I hang out
Yeah,
usually where there's a lot of everybody.
yeah,
And usually when I see that, usually it is the more peaceful areas. I don't know what it is about it, but like I said, for some reason I don't get the issues that the race baiters talk about all the time. You
yeah,
know, and saying that, and I know we got to end it soon. That's been on my mind too, man. The race baiters and what I feel about that, what I truly dislike about them. Not say the Rollins, the DLs, the Sonny Hostins, the Whoopies. You race bait every day. You wake up every day to find something to be racist. What if you took that? And I know why you don't take it, because one, it's not popular to do something right with it, and two, you won't make as much money. But what if you took that, those same people, because they know that you and I aren't going to follow them because we're independent thinkers. But they know there's a lot of weak people following. And I say weak because my thing is, if you can't follow them and not say, you know what, I don't agree with that. If you can only follow them and say, you're right, you're right, you're right, everything is racist, everything is, oh, they're out to get us. Think about all their followers. If they for 1 month say, hey, you know what, there are jobs out there. You know what, there are good people out there. You know what, you know what I'm saying? Like, I look at, and I'm going to say this, and I'm not saying libtards, but I'm saying my view of the left on certain things. I think the left is teaching black people to hate white people for a good part of it. I think the left is teaching black people to hate America. I think the left, with that being said, I wish we could say, okay, a lot of our kids, when we see the parents that wear the bonnets and the pajamas and smoke weed all day and listen to the music that they shouldn't around their kids and setting their children up for failure, only a few of those children are going to make it. And I mean, they're going to get up and say, you know, I know there's better out there, instead of just following hearing the gunshots and staying in the hood and staying in one county the rest of my life. But what if you said, I'd say it'd be nice to say, okay, if you're not going to go to college or get a job, why don't you go to the military? But guess what? We're teaching our kids to hate America. So if you're teaching black kids to hate America, they won't go to the military. What if you say, hey, there's a job out there, like, say, law enforcement. You can get in there and be the change, since you think that all law enforcement does this. But guess what? We're teaching our black kids to hate the police.
yep,
So, or guess what? You can go to a Chick-fil-A, a company like a Chick-fil-A that's a major company, and they obviously got some magic in the way they train you.
yeah.
Because I don't care who you are.
They got the formula, man.
Right. But you know what? It's a white conservative company, and we're teaching our kids to hate white people. So see all these ways we're setting our children up for failure by preaching racism, by preaching that everything is racist, because this is the basics. This is the basics. And I say that, and being in law enforcement, I've come a long way. I'm doing well in law enforcement. But the thing is, when I started, no, I wasn't. But it was a base.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere you have to start is a base.
You got to
and
start
there's
somewhere.
a base that you can start with just having a high school diploma.
You got to start
And
somewhere.
you can grow in that to become you can go so many places being a law enforcement. But like I said, we're teaching our kids to hate the police. So we're eliminating that. You can get in the military, do the Air Force, the Navy, the Marines, and they teach a lot of this stuff when it comes to technology started in the military.
Yep.
But guess what? We're teaching our kids to hate America. So we're eliminating that. You got to go to these companies. How many major black companies are out there that you know of? Most of our companies are Fortune 500, Fortune 100, whatever, are majority white companies. Nothing wrong with that. I say that to say sometimes you may have to go to those companies and get a job, but we're teaching our kids to hate white people. So we're eliminating that. So you see, we're continuing this structure of teaching our kids to staying in a form of what is the racism we say? What is it that we say? It's systemic. Systemic. But
Okay.
are we not making our own people? Are we not teaching them?
That's a perspective.
So look at that. And we're talking millions
That's a perspective.
millions
I
of
have
jobs.
I may have a different perspective, but I'm not going to articulate it right now. And it's not that and the only reason I'm not going to articulate it right now because I need a minute to kind of formulate it,
Hmm.
um, how to articulate my counter to it. It's not that, and it's not a dis, and it is not to discredit your perspective because your perspective is valid and true. And you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not like so just for you, just for the sake of people who are watching this. When it comes to perspectives, I always believe that there are multiple perspectives when it comes to the truth. You have the truth right here. You have one perspective. You have two perspectives, and neither perspective is necessarily wrong. It's just how people see it from both sides of the fence. We can all agree that there's a fence right here. And one person is looking at the fence from this side, and the other person is looking at the fence from that side. The fact is, there's the fence. So all I'm saying is, I'm looking at it from a different side.
I got you.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
So and it's not. So I'm not negating
Yeah, I feel
what you're saying.
Man, I can
But
appreciate that. But I'm looking at it from a side of our children need to come out of this rut. Our children are not being taught what we're being taught.
Yeah.
They're being taught that everything is racist. They're being taught that they're victims, and they're being taught to be professional. Well, that's it, professional victims. And my thing is, dude, when you're seeing all these videos of every time we show up to something, when we don't win, oh, it's racism. Man, come on, dude. Let's overcome this. There's ways to overcome it, but you got to think, if somebody keeps you in mental bondage, and I say it's mental bondage because if somebody teaches you all day, this is racism, this is racism, this is racism, that's mental bondage, and you're going to stay there instead of saying, you know what, no, that's not racism, dude, and I know a way out of this, and I'm going to take that way. I might not go to college, but you know what, there's a job out there that I can get that has a very good career advancement, be it military, be it law enforcement, be it I have to go to a Fortune 500 Fortune 500 companies have a base to start. There's a lot of people that have started at the bottom and become the CEO or become the owner of their own business.
No, and that is, like I said, that is very true, Steve, and I agree with you on that. I have a different point that I want to make on that, but let me think about let me think about how I want to phrase it. And it may be a different. It's definitely going to be a different episode on how we do it.
And the reason I came up with that analogy is just, again, I don't want us to always, or me, to be looked upon as always saying this is how we are, this is how we are. I want solutions. And I love presenting solutions.
Yeah.
And that's just, I wish a million, not just black kids, but I wish a million black kids could look and say, you know what, I wouldn't mind going to the military. I know that's a damn good career. I wouldn't mind becoming a law enforcement officer. I know that's a damn good career. I mean, I would prefer everybody to own their own business. Yes, of course I would. But I'm saying, if you weren't taught that,
everybody's not going to be an entrepreneur. It's not for everybody.
Yeah, but I'd love you to get in. If nothing else, I'd love us to, one, take our health. Stop taking our health for granted and stop taking our finances for granted. And get in there. Let's get healthy. But with our finances, you can start off, if you're making, again, you can get on Amazon now making $25 an hour. Now imagine, like some cultures do, 8, 9, 10 of them live in a house. And what they all do is get together and they present it to one person. Get that person started in a business or their own house. And then that person puts back in because they're building each person. But imagine if you got 5 people, 2 people, 3 people making $25 an hour in a house. And you all start learning different things. I know I'm kind of getting off of it, but off on a tangent. But you're learning how to make that house work.
That's called economic empowerment. That's a different. That's called a susu. That's a real, but not that crap that people were doing when the pandemic first happened. I don't know if you remember those.
Oh, I thought you were speaking of something else. But go ahead.
Anyway, I want to close out the show, man. I want to quote Michelle Obama.
Great.
No. No, man, this is.
I apologize. No, what?
So Michelle Obama this week, man. Did you hear about what she said about Stephen A. Smith?
I did, and I forgot what it was.
It was the funniest.
Forgot what it was.
She said watching Stephen A. Smith at ESPN was like watching an episode of The Real Housewives.
That's right. She did say that.
She said it was like the male equivalent of watching Real Housewives, watching ESPN all day.
How about that?
And I thought, and as I went back and kind of thought about it from her perspective, and I thought about it some more, I can't argue with her.
I can't either on that. I can't either because again,
I tried to argue with her, and I was like, you know what?
I say that now, and I agree because it's people like that.
She's right.
She's right. It's people like Stephen A. Smith that, although he has a plethora of knowledge, everything is, again, race and politics, and we're getting away from sport. Let's just use ESPN for example. We've gotten away from sports. We're getting away from sports, and we're just making it our opinion.
Yep.
Let us do our opinion on a podcast.
Yep. So
keep ESPN a sports show.
So we'll talk. We'll get into that, man. But I just
feel that.
I had to, you know, I know a lot of folks have different opinions about Michelle Obama, but you know, she was right this time.
I mean,
she was spot on this one, buddy.
Yeah, she was on that. And for those that's gonna come at me because I made the face when he said that, Michelle is far left. I mean, it's just
hey man, whatever you far left, far.
No,
whatever.
I say that. That's why I know. People are gonna come at me because I
folks,
made that, and I'm like, I'm cool. I don't hate the young lady, but the sister or the previous first lady, but she's far left. And like I said, I want people to start meeting more in the middle. But anyway,
yeah, but she was
right on that. You're right. She was. Stephen A. Smith takes it over the top. But like I said, it's not about, none of that is about what it was. You look at music shows now, it's not about music, it's about your opinion.
Yeah,
Sports, it's about your opinion. Everything's about your opinion, and it's race and politics, and it's unfortunate. But this is where we are.
That's where we are, man. Listen, man, it's been our pleasure. We went all over the place on this show, man. It was really, we went all over the place.
We did,
but
you know, we talk about what the people are talking about.
What the people are talking
about. A damn good
about.
perspective of it.
Yeah, man.
And how are we at the end of the day?
At the end of the day, man, we are still.
We ain't trying to shoot each other.
Nah, man.
We might go out and have a beer after the show, and it's all good.
We just might, man.
It is all good. This is how it's supposed to be, and this is what we want to set the example. I really think we do. I know we do.
Guess what, y'all? We'll see y'all next time.
Peace. Or how does my daughter do it?